Now, nothing can ever make up for what happened to them, of course, but the deeply wronged patients of jailed breast surgeon Ian Patterson, who had operations they didn't need, could now get compensation if they drop their legal case against him. A £37 million fund has been set up, with most of the money coming from the private health firm which employed him.
What happened? What went wrong?
He has never taken responsibility for deliberately disfiguring hundreds of patients for profit. But with Ian Patterson now behind bars, the question of who should be responsible for paying compensation has finally been settled. He gave Frances Perks a mastectomy she didn't need. The psychological damage cost her her home and job. Today's settlement ends years of worry and waiting.
To have lost things that I have because of him, it's been awful. So hopefully now can start to rebuild.
Frances is among around 750 private patients who will now receive compensation. The biggest contribution, £27 million, will come from the private hospitals where he operated. A further £10 million will come from the NHS trust which employed him and Patterson's insurers, though not from the surgeon himself. With today's settlement, Spire Healthcare is at last admitting it bears some responsibility for what Patterson did in its hospitals. He might have been stopped sooner, the chief executive conceded today, if its safeguards had been better. But solicitors for the patient say the company could have settled much sooner, and that greater protection is still needed for private patients who are the victims of negligence.
This case sends out a clear message that if you allow doctors onto your premises, you have to take control of them, you have to manage them. There has to be better clinical governance and, at the end of the day, better patient care.
It will now be up to solicitors to decide how much each individual patient should receive. One firm said the total will not be enough and will never truly compensate for the suffering Patterson inflicted on his patients. Ben Chapman, News at 10, Solihull.